Welcome back to another episode of the Casey Campbell Podcast. Casey Campbell with you, of course. Pleased to be joined by Phil Koops, the head football coach at Hamilton High School. How's it going?
It's going well. We just finished up our 10th practice. We've had 5 days of two-a-days, and you can probably hear on my voice. I've been out there coaching a lot, so it's been good.
That's good. So how is this first week? How did this first week of practice go for you guys?
I would say we're very cautiously optimistic. So we've got a lot more speed than we've had in the past. It's my 5th year as the head coach, so kids are feeling pretty comfortable in the system. And last year we went from being a full-time under center flex bone option team to sprinkling in some spread option and some shotgun stuff, and that stuff has looked a lot smoother in year 2. And yeah, it's good. It's good to be back out there on the field and be around kids flying around and playing the game.
For sure. All right. Speaking of kids, let's talk about them. Time to talk about all the returners and all of the guys to watch out for this year for your team. Let's start with the skill positions with the quarterback, running back, wide receiver, and tight end, and we'll go from there.
So we've got JT McElwain is our quarterback. He's a multiple-time all-conference basketball player. Played defensive back for us last year and was our goal line wildcat kind of quarterback. And then this year, he's earned the full-time spot. He's 6'3", 6'4", 190, 195-pound kid, big, strong kid. So we'll have a lot more of a runner at quarterback this year, just because of his physical skills. Our running back, his name is Ben Bame. He's a 5'10", 210-ish pound, very impressive looking young man. He took 6th in the state in the Division II track meet in the 100-meter dash. So we feel really good about his speed. The combination of the two of them should kind of protect each other in the run game, where last year we just couldn't keep people off Ben. They were going to dare someone else to beat them. And Justin, we would be just fine if people wanted to mask people to Ben and let Justin run a little bit. He's a slashing type runner, good speed, and he's got a big arm, so he can throw it over the top too. We got our 2 slot receiver wings, whatever you want to call them. They return, and then we've got some younger kids out there playing receiver. We've got 1 returner, and then we've got a collection of 3 or 4 other kids that we feel good about. So our receivers will be kids that place them on the defensive side and then rotate on offense. So we have a lot of depth returning at the skill positions, with really the quarterback being the only replacement. And Justin's a kid that, did see significant playing time throughout the year last year in different situations.
For sure. Let's go to the offensive and defensive line.
We've got a lot of new bodies on the offensive and defensive line. So we have 1 returning starter on offense. Our left tackle, Justin Aiding, long, lanky kid, 6'2", 6'3", somewhere in there, 220-ish pounds. And then the most physically impressive kid is probably Max Brink. He's 6'4". He plays right tackle and defensive end for us. He's 6'4", 260-pound kid, kind of a D3, D2 type of prospect. And then we've got we're new senior that's worked really hard at center, Joey Klein, and then a couple of guards that are, one's a senior that's, again, worked really hard. So really, really happy for those 2 kids, Joey Klein and Hoyt Ferguson, that are going to find some playing time in their senior year. And then a younger kid at the other guard in Breslin Nykamp. And then a couple of sophomores that are kind of our 6th offensive linemen that could, come in case of injury or get in the game in some of our unbalanced looks.
All right, let's go to linebackers and the secondary.
We got a lot more speed at inside linebacker than we've had in a long time. So, Hamilton's 750 kid school. Sometimes you run out of fast kids, and that's been the case in the past where we've played some pretty plotty kids in there. And we've got Brooks Hawkins, who's a sophomore, really good player. He'll be Ben's backup on offense. Shorter kid, but super strong. One of the strongest freshmen we've ever had in the weight room. Like a 285-pound bencher as a freshman, which is crazy impressive. So Brooks is going to play in there, and then junior Jaron Bronkhorst. And both of them run really well. Got pretty good instincts, so we're excited about them being in the middle of our defense. Through no fault of their own, we had some seniors last year that were really playing out of position to play in there at inside linebacker. We just didn't have anybody else. We had a wrestler kid that was a converted D lineman. We had a kid that had played defensive back, and he got strong in the weight room, and so we put him in there. And just either one was slow, one didn't have a lot of instincts, and it just wasn't good, and it led to the kind of record that we had last year. And so we're excited about the two kids we got in there this year.
All right, special teams.
Mark Banke is our special teams coordinator. He was my freshman football coach, so I'm a Hamilton alum, and I think that's pretty neat that I played for Coach Banke at one point, and now he's coaching, for, quote unquote, for me, right? So he's on staff, and he runs all of our special teams. And Keaton Haverdink, our slot receiver, has looked good returning punts in practice this week. We've got a safety, Cy Barons, who figures to be a pretty good returner. He did some exciting things as a JV player in the return game. He's got an ankle tweak right now. He's going to be fine, but we've been watching some other kids return kicks and return punts, and that's looked good. And Coach Banke does some unique things on specials, which are good for the Hawkeyes. Ben Bame, our stud running back, is our punter and does some really good things in the punt game, and kind of scares people a little bit with, could he run a fake? What's he going to do? And that's all good for us.
All right. Now we've talked about all the kids. Let's talk about the schedule. So I'll just read through this real quick.
Yep.
Boy, you guys are gonna. If I don't know if I'm mistakenly read this, but you guys are on the road a lot.
We are on the road a lot. So in the past, with the new playoff point system in Michigan, we're or have been a middling or struggling program. So people want to play people that are, but we feel like we're getting a lot better along with that. So people want to play people that are guaranteed wins or have big enrollment or are dominant programs. So if you lose to them, you get all the points for all the games that they won. We are none of those things at this current time, right? People, do you really want to go play against the option? And they're getting better, and how good are they going to be? So they're not very big. If we do lose, how many games are they going to win? So it's been hard to find games. Last year we played two smaller schools, and that didn't make us better. And we were driving all the way around the state to do it. So when Plainwell, who's a Division III school, and St. John's, who's a Division III school, wanted to play, and it matched up, and they needed home games this year. And so my options were keep looking or take the game, and then we're going to have 6 home games next year. So that's why our schedule looks the way that it does. We'll be on the road a lot.
Okay. All right. I'll just go through this real quick. August 24th, you'll start on the road at Plainwell. August 31st at St. John's. September 8th at Fruitport. September 15th at Allendale. September 22nd, first home game of the year at Holland Christian. September 29th at Coopersville. October 6th, home against Hudsonville Unity Christian, October 13th at Grand Rapids West Catholic, and October 20th, home against Spring Lake. So a pretty good schedule, pretty tough schedule, but overall, it's going to be a good test for you guys.
Oh yeah, I mean it's the black and blue league, right? Like there's a lot of good football teams in the OK Blue. I think we had four league teams win a playoff game last year, which is kind of unbelievable. And then we had some teams at the bottom end of the league that were very competitive or beat some of those teams at the top of the league. So we played Spring Lake and we were ahead at halftime and ended up losing the game. And geez, like we must be awful. And then the next week they go beat Unity Christian, who's a perennial powerhouse. So top to bottom, just every week, you got to come to play football. There's nobody you can circle on that schedule and go, well, there's a win and there's a win and there's a win. Everybody's good. The coaches in the league are good. The programs in the league are growing. I think almost everybody has 3 levels of football this fall. It's a really tough league to compete in. But if you make the playoffs, you feel like you're pretty battle tested.
All right. All right. So now that this first week is over, what's going into next week and heading into that first game against Plainwell? What's the rest of the schedule going to be like for you guys heading into that first game?
So next week we have 2-day practices on Monday and Tuesday, and then our scrimmage is it's Middleville, Stevensville, Lakeshore, and Edwardsburg. Edwardsburg being a perennial state power, and they're coming to Hamilton, and we'll scrimmage on Wednesday. That gives us an extra day. A lot of people scrimmage on Thursday, so Thursday will be like our day after a game day. We'll look at the scrimmage and tell the kids all the things that went right, all the things that went wrong. And then we'll have kind of a special teams, basic skills type practice in the afternoon. And then on Friday, that becomes your Monday, because before Labor Day, you play on Thursday. So that Friday, you're getting into your Plainwell install stuff. Tuesdays or Mondays like your Tuesday, Wednesdays like your Thursday, and then you're playing on Thursday. So that's what it looks like for us going forward.
All right. And really, what do you want to see out of this team in the next few weeks and the next week heading into that first game?
Just want to see them continue to grow and improve. We've done more with these guys the last few years in the summer than has been standard around here. So
yeah.
We went to Tony Neese's Veer Camp in Montrose, Michigan, and that's been good to us with some of our schematic changes and just the excellent coaching and competition you get there. We've had great player commitment at our summer strength and conditioning program, and we had a really good first week of practice, and I think kids are feeling really good about where we're at. Coaches are feeling good. So, our job is to not get complacent. We were a 2-7 football team last year. The guys, we got to get better every day. So that's what we're trying to keep everybody's eyes on the prize moving forward.
All right. All right, Phil, thank you so much for coming on and talking with us, and best of luck to you guys this season.
All right. Sounds good. Thank you, Casey. Appreciate it.